Hello, everyone, and welcome to Big Cat Sports. Today, we're going to talk about the Red Wings and what they got to do this year to be successful. My main point, and I've always said it, is defense. If they are a better defensive team this year, they should win more games. I mean, you did improve very much offensively. So
You build from the back up. Goalie, defense.
if your goaltending is better this year, that would be another plus. They should be too. You have Husso, you got Reimer. Those should be your two goalies. It should be better. Otherwise, your defense needs to be more improved this year, and I don't know if the signings have been improvements necessarily, besides Gosh Despair. But if you are better at defense, you're going to get more shooting chances.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't think you can deny that they have basically improved at all four of the different aspects. I mean, their goaltending should be far more solid because they have a veteran goaltender who I believe will really shore that up. And then you have the defense who we're going to be putting much more points on the board from the back end on power plays. Our power play should improve greatly. We have a far more physical team than we had last year. We have some. It's not what I would call what Toronto's doing, but we shouldn't get pushed around as much. And we do have some guys who will look out for people like the Brinkat and people like Raymond. Maybe they won't be taken advantage of as much because we're going to have some guys out there who, will have their back. Which is disappointing because like I said, that's been a big disappointment of the Wings for many years now. Is that they just get themselves pushed around too much. I didn't like seeing Cedar do basically. I remember that Ottawa game, and I think DeBrincat was the one who punched him in the face.
Yes, DeBrincat was the one that was punching
and he did absolutely nothing. He just kind of, and maybe they're told that. Maybe that's a strategy of some kind, but I don't like it. I mean, you gotta give it back. I also think an important thing is going to be seeing if Dylan Larkin can become a true number one center. That's been the debate whether or not he is, and many people have said if he was a number two center and you had a number one, you would have a team contending for the cup. Yeah. But the problem we don't is that we really don't have a true number one center. But with the Brinkat, I think
it might bring some stuff out for Larkin. Putting him on the same line. I mean, if you could put playmakers together, that'd be the Brinkat. I think that's Perron, right? That's your first line with him and Larkin. They're going to be getting more points. They're going to be more productive.
Right. I hope if it's Perron, fine. I don't think I think he's just too up there in age to log those kind of minutes. I'd like to see Rasmussen with him.
Rasmussen could be an option,
if possible, if he could stay healthy. He was a big asset to this team. And we really missed him when he got hurt last year. So I'd love to see Rasmussen on that first line with DeBrincat and Larkin if possible.
We know that DeBrincat and Larkin will be paired together. I feel like they're going to have some of the young guys paired together just to have them together. But you have a deep team offensively, I would say. Because we don't even know who's going to be on the fourth line just because we have so many extra players. Right.
And I think the third and fourth lines, much like the old Wings teams, are going to get substantial minutes because we're going to be deeper. I don't think being on the fourth line in this team means that you're only going to get 6-7 minutes a game. I think you're going to get some real minutes.
Yeah.
Spread it out. I think they're going to play the line that is hot, and I think it's going to be a good season. I'm kind of getting positive about it. Getting upbeat and.
Your bench is going to consist of Villano if we get him re-signed, right? You're going to have all the other young guys, older guys that we signed. Gettinger, you got Fisher who's going to be there. You got Soderblom, Evanson, right? You also have Casper, right? You have so many options to throw on that fourth line. Lindstrom would be a defenseman, right? But that's the other thing there. Your defensemen are a little bit deep too when you look at it if you're not going to end up signing anybody else. If they are going to sign someone else, I would say it would end up being a defenseman. But at the same time, they have no room to add defensemen unless we were trading people.
Right.
So
Unless you're trading, I think we're pretty solid. The Wings, I really don't want to see them get anybody else because I want to see these young guys get an opportunity to come up and fill in when people get hurt. Um, Casper and Edvinsson. I want to see these guys get real minutes up with the big team and see what they can do. They're the future.
Casper has a chance to probably get some minutes in. I don't think Edvinsson will get too much time in, only because there's not much going on in the defense unless someone gets hurt. There's not a lot of wiggle room going on there. When it comes to the offensive side, there is a little bit of wiggle room. There is a chance for some of your young guys to come up. ESPN has done a very terrible job of updating the lineup inside, so I can't even trust the roster they give me.
Right. I know I was.
Because, wow, ESPN needs to be better on that. They still have Yamamoto on the roster.
I know. They did.
So ESPN needs to be better with that. That could be a whole different video on ESPN and the NHL. But
I think, like I said, we talked about the lineup the other day, and they can mix and match a lot of different things. It's going to be fun to watch Lalonde try to find the right combinations. Like you said, we know DeBrincat and Larkin are going to be on the top line. I wouldn't mind seeing any number of people with them. Comfort. I wouldn't mind.
You might see Cop.
I think that I do agree with what a lot of people are saying, that they need somebody who can go into the boards, somebody who's going to be a little bit more of a physical presence, can dig the puck out for these guys and set them up. Perron is a great player to do something like that. He's very good at setting up the other guys, plus has a great one-timer himself. But, I just, it's his age that worries me, is that can he log those kind of minutes?
And he might be able to. He might, like I said, it might be a rotation of who's on the first line. They might be rotating a lot of people for the first couple weeks to try and figure out who exactly they want with who.
Well, I have no doubt that's what it's going to be like all through camp, through the exhibition games and stuff. They're going to be figuring out, what, and that's the fun of it. That's going to be fun for the fans and everything else, is that we have choices now. We're not a 2-line team or a 1-line team. We have legitimate depth, and I think it's going to translate into, a possible playoff berth for that 7th or 8th seed or higher. Anything, it's about health. It's about a lot of things. If they could stay healthy, who knows? Who knows? If they could have stayed healthy last year, they might have made the playoffs.
There's no reason why they can't make the playoffs. They should be a playoff team this year.
Right. And as we've seen, you make the playoffs, team like Florida, it's all you got to do. Make the playoffs and get hot.
But that being said, right, if you like what you see, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Share the video. And until next time, we'll see everybody soon.